Hi, my name is Toby James. I'm part of the OJC crew. I'm here to talk to Cru Halliday today, so let's go. How did you get into motorbike riding?
It's a bit of a long story. I raced BMX my whole life, all the way from 3 years old to around almost 15, 16 years old. And when I was around 13, 14, my old man bought me a 60. So we're doing sort of both sports, and we started to lean towards the whole MX side of things instead of BMX. We just started racing motocross here and there, just a couple of club days, did all the old M-Cross series, and, a family friend, Alex Govert, sort of put me onto like a little fast 50 back in the day with like motard wheels on it down at Kembla Grange. And, we started going pretty quick around there, and I think he conned my old man into buying a 600. So, I got thrown into the deep end pretty quick in ASBK in 2009. I think the first time I ever rode a road bike was February in 2009. And then I think it was like a month later, I was racing the Australian series. So quick learning curve, but yeah, it's I'm definitely from a motocross background, but adapted to the road style. I also did a fair few years in supermoto in between the motocross and the road racing. Raced X Games with Herfoss, but I wasn't on his level at that point in time. And no, that was also good. But the weird thing was, because I was from a motocross background, I had a road racing style, which was very, very weird. I was always knee down, so I'm not sure why or what was going on there. I think just probably growing up with Gobert and watching him and learning off him. It's just, and sort of that's what pointed us towards suit bikes and road bikes.
Sounds good. How do you think you have ridden this year in ASBK?
I was told not to swear on this, but I won't. To be honest, I think I've been riding. It's hard to explain. I'd like to say good, but the results haven't shown. It's a hard year for us. We're on a new tyre manufacturer. We've gone back to Dunlop, as we've been on previous years. So we haven't really had the ball running from continuous years. So we haven't had the same settings and everything that's built up for this year given to us, because we basically had to start from scratch again because we had to go back to Dunlop. And the problem is, when we went back to Dunlop, this is when all these new Ducatis come out, and Maxwell's on fire, Herfoss has got the new CBR, everyone's getting new stuff. Even we got new stuff, as in tyres. We even got new parts for our bikes, but because they're so new to us, we can't gather that much information and put it on the track as fast as we need it to be. So I think we've had some good rounds and very bad rounds, but hopefully we can go back to racing and, finish the year off strong.
Hopefully we can, yeah. Where did you grow up, and what was it like growing up in the 90s?
Ooh, I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up in a place called Liverpool. So that's a bit out of Sydney. It's a bit of a rough area now. So lived there till I was about, how old would it have been? Probably 10. And then I moved out to a place called Camden, which is, you might have heard it. You might be a little bit young. It's Oran Park. So I'm out that way. It's probably about 60K, sort of southwest of Sydney. It's not like a real rural town, but it's like on the edge of being sort of suburban and rural. We've got all the motocross tracks out here. You've got like places like Oakdale and Appin, heaps of motocrossers are from out this way, and several other superbike riders from out this way. But it's a good place. I'm on acreage, so I can't complain there. Still living at my parents', unfortunately. It's an expensive time to move out, but chipping away at that. And yeah, not going to lie, it's probably the best place to live on earth. It's spot on, Camden.
Sounds good. How has the lockdown impacted you and your riding, and what do you do to keep motivated during these hard times?
I was thinking about this question yesterday, I was thinking about why we all train, and I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, why do we train so hard when we're not going racing? It's like it's for some reason it seems so clouded. If we're going to go racing by the end of the year, then you think to yourself, why am I still training for it? But I think the motivation's there because you need to be at peak physical fitness to fight with like guys like Wayne and Troy. But I think when you've been in the sport for so long, you've got like hobbies like cycling, you ride motocross, but we can't ride motocross at the moment, like mountain biking, like running, swimming. I think when you've done it for that long, it's not like you look at it as in training, it's something you've always done. So even if I stop racing, I'll still go out and cycle. So it's more of a lifestyle in a way that it becomes natural to you. And it's almost to a certain point where like, if you don't get to ride that day, you feel guilty because you've done it for so long, day in, day out. But the way the lockdown's affected me, the thing that sucks with where I'm at, I'm based in Sydney, and everywhere's shut, like completely shut. So I haven't ridden a motorbike, like not even a dirt bike, since Darwin. So it's going to be a bit daunting throwing my leg back over that R1 for the first time in I don't know how long, if we get to do it. Hopefully we get to do it by the end of the year, but if we start racing by the end of the year, I think I'm going to have to come to terms real quick with it, because I remember last time we had a bit of a gap and it was a bit of an eye-opener. You forget how actually fast these bikes are. So I'm still working. I'm still doing all the same things day in, day out. Yeah, but it hasn't really affected me that much. It's just affected me that I can't ride. I can still train, but I just can't ride an actual motorbike.
Yeah, fingers crossed we get back at the end of this year. What would you have done if you didn't do motorbike riding?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, to be honest, if we didn't really get into motocross or motorbikes, I probably would have stayed down the BMX path, and that I don't know where that could have lent into. Like, some people get real burnout if you do a sport real early. That could have turned into cycling. Your parents could have saved a lot of money. There was always the option. I remember when I was younger, Dad always hinted about going go-karting. But that's just as expensive as going road racing, as everyone knows. I can't even think to myself, to be honest, what I'd be doing. I'd probably be drinking schooners down at the pub at the TAB.
What is so great about ASBK?
The good thing about ASBK is, and I've noticed that change in the last 4 years, the competition now it's full on. Like you look at the names, like you got Maxwell, you got Herfoss, Waters, Starring, like Jones, Bayless. Like you've got names there that are pretty categorized, and like people worldwide know these guys. And the competition's that fierce now, where if you're not absolutely on your game, you're not even going to be in the top 5. It's that hard. And to be honest, I've still been trying to look for that first race win since I think it was 2017 in a superbike class. And that's not me, as in I've been only half doing it. I've been trying everything. It's just that's how hard the competition is just get into it. And that's what I love about it. I love how it's so fierce. I love the drama. Like if there's arms getting thrown, I'm all for it. Like I love it. Just I don't know. It's just I think the way that the ASBK also looks now from the outside view, like where it's coverage on TV, it looks very professional. They've come a long way since that. I remember watching it around 2013 and it was like, but now it's like really well presented. And when you see yourself on TV, you feel really privileged and proud of yourself. Like it's like, yeah, I'm up there competing. Like this all looks good. Like this is pretty cool. So I'm just glad to be a part of it all, and I'm very privileged to be where I'm at.
Yeah, I wish I could get there one day.
You will.
So your nickname's Cru Nietzsche. Why is it that? And did I say it right?
No, that's how you say it. So it's a bit of a funny story. Me and an old friend sort of come up with it. I don't know if you heard the rapper Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
His nickname's Tunchi. So and I used to be in like total love with him. Like had all his music, had everything, all his documentaries, and one of my mates just said like he was just mucking around, just like graffitied this like crunchy thing. And I was like, that just stuck. I was like, and that's when Instagram basically came out. So I was like, I'll just put my name as Crunichi. So I get all sorts of things. I get Crunichi, Crunchy, Crunchy, Nietzsche, Necky, all sorts of things. I'll just run with it. It's just so yeah. It's nothing special. It's just a weird sort of low key name.
Cool. Do you watch OJC, and what do you think of the riders coming through?
I do watch OGC all the time. Every time I'm at the track, I watch it. Probably best racing, probably out there, even better than the super bikes because you guys actually pass a lot more than us. The only problem with it is all look the same. So I don't know who's watching. I don't know who's who. It's I can tell by your helmet's only just and the numbers, but when you're out there on the track, it's sort of hard to see who's who. But no, I think it's you know, if I ever had kids or if I was a kid your age, it's unreal. Like no one really had that kind of stepping stone. You know, I don't really know much about junior road racing because I never was a junior in road racing. I know they had like 250 like Grand Prix bikes like Aprilias and that, and they all sound very expensive. By the way, I've heard how people set them up and how they run them. Where your category, the OGC class, it's a good stepping stone into the 300 class. So I think you've got that pretty down pat. And I like how now that it's got your class, then the 300s, the 600s, and then the super bikes. That's a really good stepping stone to get in the major class. I know that you're young now and you're thinking, wow, super bikes are insanely fast, but you adjust the speed every class you jump up to. So I think what ASBK have done there and Yamaha have put together is a fantastic package for everyone. And you know, when you watch you guys, it sounds like a bunch of racing lawnmowers. You know, at Wakefield, you can only just hear you at the top of the hill. But I reckon the racing's great, and you know, as I said, hope we go racing again, and we can look forward to watching you guys again.
Yeah, hopefully, and I love the class. So yeah. You have been to heaps of tracks, but which one is your favorite?
I've always asked myself this same question. So I've had a love-hate relationship with Phillip Island. I love Phillip Island, but I've had results there where I've really surprised myself. Then I've had results where it's just like back to my old me. So I definitely have improved at Phillip Island, and I'd like to say Phillip Island, but I'd have to go with Eastern Creek or Sydney Motorsport Park now, purely because it's just around the corner from me. I think it's got a really good layout. It's got a lot of technical turns in it. Now that it's under lights, and I've raced there under the lights, it's pretty awesome. So I'd have to say Sydney Motorsport Park, to be honest.
Yeah, I loved Eastern. Yeah, I loved Eastern Creek. It was a good track. What advice do you have for young kids wanting to race in OJC and other ASBK support classes?
To be honest, I've always thought to myself when I was younger, when I was your age, that you know every race that I entered was going to be like, I've got to go good now. This is going to be the MotoGP break. This is going to be like, I put so much pressure on myself at your age and a younger age where even when this is before I raced like in the 600s, when I was racing motocross, even when I was racing BMX at Australian level, I put so much pressure on myself where like I couldn't sleep at night. At sometimes I was sick at night. And now that I look back at it and I think to myself, why? Like I cost myself so much fun because of how much pressure I put on myself. So what I'd say to you and younger kids out there trying to get in the sport is just have fun with it. The world's not on your shoulders, like the sun's going to rise tomorrow. So yeah, there will be pressure there. Of course, your parents want you to go good. Like, that's just a natural thing. But you personally, you have to have fun with it. If you rock up to the track and you're scared, or you don't want to be there, or you got to start asking yourself that at your age, do you really want to do it? So I think the main thing is you have to have fun with it, because you won't enjoy it. Like, you'll lose sight of why you're there. And it's a very expensive sport, as everyone knows, to get into. So have fun with it. Do battle.
Yeah.
Remember, everyone's friends on the track, but yeah, just don't look at it. Don't look at every race at like this is like your make or break race. Just absorb it all in. You're still super young. There's people out there like Maxwell. He's still winning now. I think he's 37 or 38, around that age, and he's still cleaning up now. How old are you? Like 13, 12, 15? Like you're
13.
young. You've got a long time. So yeah, just enjoy it and have fun.
Yeah, you have to love what you're doing.
Exactly right.
What was it like to win the Australian Supersport 600 Championship in 2018?
See that gold helmet?
Yeah.
Just to wear that for a lap was worth it. So nah, it was the whole thing with the whole 600 thing. I lost my ride in 2017. There was 3 factory superbike riders for Yamaha at the time, and I got let go, which, there was no hard feelings. Yamaha, I understand how it works. And I was the last place rider in 2016 out of Wayne and the other rider. And it was when I went back to 2017 and did my privateer thing, and it's very expensive to run a superbike team. So Yamaha sort of threw me like a last life wishbone and asked me if I wanted to ride the 600, and I basically had no other option. I didn't really want to do it, to be honest. I thought to myself, it put me in a position where if a young guy like Tom Taparis ended up beating me, he deserved the factory ride over me. He's younger. He would have beat me, so he should have got it. But I think a lot of people were thinking, oh yeah, I heard a lot of people saying, oh, Crus is going to clean them up. It wasn't like that. At first, we were on a very stock motorcycle in 2018 at the first round, and Tommy wiped the floor with me, and I was like, we've got dramas. We've got serious dramas. But I come into the pits that time, and everyone's laughing, saying, relax. This bike's basically stock. And I was like, everyone was like happy, and I was like, we just got handed to us by 3 seconds by a kid. Okay, it's not, and they're laughing. I was so confused what was going on. Like, my team was laughing. I was like, here I am, 31 years old, getting beat by 18-year-old, and everyone's laughing. I'm missing something here. But that year ended up being really good. I think I won. Not sure. Might have been 6 out of 8 rounds, or might have been 5 out of 7 rounds, how many rounds there were. So it was really good. It did give me a lot of confidence. It taught me how to win again, since I hadn't won a race for a long time. But what it did, which was very surprisingly, it built my corner speed up. I had to learn to ride the 600 a lot different to the 1000, because I've been on 1000 for so long. So when I got back on the 600, I struggled with mid corner speed. But now that I got off the 600, I learned the corner speed on 1000. So I sort of adapted the 600 riding style back. So it was more of a eye-opener than what I thought it was. So I thought it was sort of going to be like a on the way out of a contract, see you later, career's over. But it was sort of a refreshener. Like it helped me in more ways than I can say. So I'm very grateful for Yamaha for giving me that year. And I don't think I'd do it again, because the kids are getting too fast these days, and I'm starting to get old. I've got some greys coming through. So I've got to go easy.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Where would you ultimately like to race?
I'd be silly not to say MotoGP, but that's not going to happen. I would like to say World Superbikes, so that's not going to happen. To be honest, man, at my age, I'm more of a realist, and I know where I stand. I'm just happy racing ASBK. Like I'm 33 now. Almost in my eyes, I'm almost too old just to go overseas now. You got to do that at probably Ollie's age or a bit older. And I'm happy. If anything, if I got a contract asked to go to America, I probably would to AMA. But yeah, probably here AMA. On a good contract, definitely AMA. But that's a good contract. But yeah, can't see that happening anytime soon. Not with how things are going at the moment.
Yeah, everyone wants to end up in MotoGP, but if we can't, then we aim for the next best thing, basically.
Would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. What was going through your mind when you came up to the start line to begin your first ever ASBK race? Superbike race.
Superbike race. It was at Phillip Island, and I was on a bike that was way underpowered. I was on the upper. So they had a bike called a super stock bike back in the day, and we entered. I think it was the last round in 2011 at Phillip Island. 2011. And I remember going into turn one at Phillip Island, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is going to be the death of me." There was these 200 horsepower bikes going into turn one, and I was just stuck dead in the middle of the group, and I'm like, this is like next level. Like the speed, the sound, like the wind. Like I remember it was so windy that day. And then it was cold down there too. So I was like, this is either going to make or break me here. But I was nervous. I was really, I was more nervous of that than like usually get real nervous. Like when you go on real good through practice and you qualify and you put it on pole, like and you're expected to like go good in the race. I was never been as nervous as that first Superbike race. I wasn't even as nervous in my first 600 race, like ever. But remember that day at Phillip Island, that was hell. But in saying that, it was still very enjoyable.
Sounds fun. Ish.
It was. When you look back now, yeah, it was fun. Oh, this kid. Okay, I got one. Xbox or a PlayStation kid?
PlayStation.
Oh, thank God. Fortnite or Warzone?
Fortnite.
Oh.
I do play Warzone. I do play Warzone, but
I played with a couple of the junior kids on there, actually, like Marianas and all those. So need to hit you up on there and get online and get on Warzone. Definitely not Fortnite. That's a kid's game. I'm not saying on that.
Yeah.